إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله ثم أما بعد أيها الأحبة اقتضت حكمة الله سبحانه وتعالى أن تكون حياة الإنسان في هذه الدار مزيجاً من السعادة والشقاء والفرح والترح والغنى والفقر والصحة والسقم، وهذه هي طبيعة الحياة سريعة التقلب، كما قال الله سبحانه وتعالى: إنا خلقنا الإنسان من نطفة أمشاج نبتليه فجعلناه سميعا بصيرا. هذا التقلب هو جزء من الابتلاء الذي خلقنا الله سبحانه وتعالى لأجله. My dear brothers and sisters, when we look at this life, we see that the life of the human being is always fluctuating between happiness and sadness, richness and poverty, health and sickness, and so forth. So it's never stable. It changes all the time. And that is part of the test that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us to test us with when He commanded us to worship Him. يعني الصبر على طاعة الله سبحانه وتعالى والقيام بهذه الوظيفة وهي العبودية لله سبحانه وتعالى لا بد من الابتلاء حتى نثبت لله سبحانه وتعالى أننا نعبده سبحانه وتعالى وحده لا شريك له. There must be a test to prove that you are worshiping Allah and only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no partners, no personal interest from people, rather the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he told us a hadith to show us the two kinds of people. For this test, you'll find two kinds of people. You'll find shakir wa sabir, abid sabir wa abid shakir. أي Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يبتلينا بالأمراض. He tests us with sickness, for instance. يبتلينا بالفقر. He tests us with not having money. يبتلينا في نقص من الأموال والأولاد. يبتلينا بأشياء كثيرة ويريد سبحانه وتعالى منا الصبر. This test is to show how patient are you. You don't have the job that you want. You don't have the children that you want. Or maybe you don't have children at all. You don't have the right things that you are looking for. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to see, are you patient? Are you going to blame Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Are you going to compare yourself with other people why He subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them and did not give you? That's one aspect. The other one, يبتلينا على الشكر ليرى الشكر على النعم. فالله سبحانه وتعالى ينعم علينا بكثير من النعم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses us with many ni'am. If we look at our health, we see so many. If we look at family, we see so many. If we look at our job, so many. Even in this life, so many. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to see, are we grateful? Do we remember Him when we have the ni'mah versus when we don't? Are we doing what the ni'mah requires? Meaning, when you spend it, how do you spend it? When you use it, how do you use it? Now, ni'mah is not money only. Ni'mah is knowledge. Ni'mah is money. Ni'mah is health. Ni'mah is children. Ni'mah is job. All of these are ni'am that requires to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for it, and at the same time to use it properly the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants. So in this hadith, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, as Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu reported, إن ثلاثة أو أن ثلاثة من بني إسرائيل أبرص وأقرع وأعمى أراد الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يبتليهم فبعث إليهم ملكا. Three people, each one has a defect, at least in the understanding of people. And this defect, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want to test him on. So He sent an angel in the form of a human being to them. Number one, he is lepers. He has some skin disease. And the other one, bald. No offense, brother. I'm the same. And the third one, blind. Now honestly, when we talk, for instance, the skin we understand. Bald, maybe we don't. How many of you really thanked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for having hair? You see, that's how you look at the ni'mah. You may look at the other person and say what you want to say and think what you want to think, but you don't look at yourself that you have a ni'mah that you need to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for it. And this hadith is a proof that the person who doesn't have the hair feels the loss of that ni'mah. And believe me, when you see people shaving their head, it's not a new style. You think it is. It's a new look that they want to compensate what they're missing. And they figure this is the closest to the reality, right, brother? I'm there. We're all there. That's why you hardly see someone with full hair shaves his head. You find exceptions, but not like that. So, I'm just trying to show you the ni'mah that you have, and to show this brother and all of those brothers who don't have the hair how to be patient on missing that ni'mah at the same time. Look what happened. أتى الأبرص فقال أي شيء أحب إليك. He came to the leper man and he said, what is the most beloved thing to you? قال لون حسن. I just want to have good looking skin. And he added وجلد حسن ويذهب عني الذي قدرني الناس منه. And just remove that stuff that people give me a dirty look, or I have a defect. It's like it's bothering me, and it seems like it's bothering people because they don't like it either. So فمسحه فذهب عنه قدر. So he touched him basically, and Allah, with the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wonderful skin he has it. أعطاه لونا حسنا وجلدا حسنا. قال فأي المال تحب؟ قال الإبل. So after he cured him from that disease and gave him beautiful, so it's not just cured, he gave and replaced it with something good too. He told him, what kind of wealth you like? Wealth can be business, can be cash, can be animals, can be any kinds of valuable thing. قال الإبل. He said camels. فأعطاه ناقة عشرا. He gave him a pregnant she-camel. And why? To have more camels from him. ثم قال بارك الله لك فيها. And he made dua for him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless that camel for you. He left. He came to the bald man. أتى الأقرع فقال أي شيء أحب إليك. Look at when you miss the ni'mah, look where your focus is. Only on that thing. And there are, I guarantee you, many things are there better, but subhanAllah, when you have something and you miss it, you feel like this is the only thing you want, even though there are many other things you want, and better than it. قال شعر حسن. All he wants is hair. Subhanallah. وَيُذْهِبْ عَنِّي هَذَا الَّذِي قَدِرَنِي النَّاسِ. And to remove that, basically the bald head, that people don't like. It seems like it's bothering them too. It could be making fun of them. It could be just looking and not liking it. It could be not receiving compliments. Just whatever it is, remove that. قال فأي المال أحب إليه. So he touched his head, and mashallah, full hair. Beautiful hair, you can brush backward, forward, spike it, you do whatever. There's so many things that you can do with your hair. We all know that. Actually, our children showed us how they can practice with that. So he gave him that and he said, أي المال أحب إليك? What kind of wealth you like? قال البقر. He told him what kind of wealth you like. So he told him cows. He gave him فأعطاه بقرة حامل. He gave him a cow that is pregnant. ودعا له بالبركة, and he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless it for him. He came to the blind man, أتى الأعمى, فقال أي شيء أحب إليك? What is the most important thing you like? قال أن يرد الله سبحانه وتعالى إلي بصري فأبصر به الناس. I just want to be able to see people. You know, from this hadith it seems like they had the ni'mah and they lost it. Because if you're born never seeing people, you don't miss much because you never seen it. That's why when some of the opinions, do disbelievers see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or don't? The group that they say they see Him the day of judgment, but not, of course, they're not in Jannah to see Him. They looked at it as a form of punishment, even though it's the most important thing you see. Why is it the form of punishment? Because you see something so beautiful and you just want it, and all of a sudden, boom. It's like, here, no. It's not yours. You see it and you miss it. After that, it is more painful than not seeing it at all than seeing it. So he said, I want to see people. So he touched his eyes, he wiped his face, and mashallah, he sees very well. Then he said, which of the wealth that you like? أي المال أحب إليك? قال الغنم فأعطي شاة والدة يعني حامل. He said, what wealth you like? He said, sheep. So he gave him a pregnant sheep and he made dua for him. So now you have one with a camel and one with a cow and one with a sheep. And they multiplied until each had a valley of camels, a valley of cows, and a valley of sheep. Here is the test. He came back to them each in his old form. So he came to the one with the beautiful skin, a man with lepers. He came to him and he is testing him. Of course he doesn't know. أتى الأبرص في صورته وهيئته فقال رجل مسكين قد انقطعت به الحبال في سفري فلا بلاغ لي اليوم إلا بالله ثم بك. He said, I am what you see, poor man, traveling. I have no money, I have nothing to ride. I have nothing except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than you. And what does he want? قال أسألك بالذي أعطاك اللون الحسن والجلد الحسن والمال بعيرا أتبلغ عليه في سفري. Look at how touchy the dua or the question. I ask you by the one who gave you this beautiful skin and this beautiful body, reminding him on what he was before, because he can see what he was. He looks like him. And the one who gave you all this wealth. All I want from this whole valley is a camel that I ride on it and drink from its milk and get to where I want. Look at the answer. قال الحقوق كثيرة. يا شيخ, you know the taxes, and you know how the market is, inflation, life is not that good. It's like, no. فقال له كأني أعرفك. كأني أعرفك. It looks like, you seem like you're someone I know. ألم تكن أبرص يقذرك الناس فقيرا فأعطاك الله. Told him, weren't you had the same problem I have, and you didn't have any money, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cured you and gave you